5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
Welcome to China Jedi Talk, where we interview a broad selection of the human race who spawn from different cities, towns, and villages in and around China and across the world to talk about life, business, love, strife, places, faces, different races, attractions, distractions, goals, and aspirations, creating selections, affections, opportunities, and connections. And as always, shining humor, love, and light on Chinese life. May the smile be with you.
Can I just say that my questions just like yours are just begun? Can I just say that your questions just like mine are just begun? Cause it was breaking news.
I am not missing that. Oh, thank goodness to not have to rely on a VPN and be able to WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and WeChat all at the same time. It's amazing. Yeah.
Now, let's move a little bit here. I've got something in front of me. I think this will be quite fun. I've got some facts, fun and interesting facts about Bali and the surrounding area. So let me just go through them again and see if you know any of this, Cara. I certainly didn't. Bali's actually 3 islands. Not that you're on Bali, but it's 3 islands, not just one. You knew that, I'm sure.
I don't know anything about Bali yet, mate. I'm still living the gilly life.
You snob. You've become a snob after 3 months.
No,
we don't talk about Bali.
I just haven't been to Bali. I need to go there before I know anything about it.
Yes, very true. Well, it's a massive volcano there. Nusa Penida,
yes.
and Nusa Lembongan and Nusa, I think, Seningang form a cluster of islands about 20 to 30 minutes away from Sanur, which is on the east of Bali. Ice. Fact number 2 is government regulated, so no need to order all your drinks neat. It's quality controlled, apparently, by the local government. Yeah.
Okay.
Fact 3, you should leave food on your plate, potentially for the ants, maybe, but apparently it's culturally, it's the etiquette there to not finish everything. They have that in Japan. Did you know that?
That's similar to China, isn't it?
Well, they leave so much food, don't they, in China?
Right,
when you go out for those meals, it's quite horrific, actually, in a way, the waste of food there. Bali is actively volcanic. We know that. There's a lot of rumbles going on there. And do you know what? Again, it's that classic irony, isn't it? God produced these most wonderful places, fertile lands, beautiful tropical fish, diversity you could never imagine. And then they plop a ring of fire and a load of massive volcanoes that could erupt at any time. You just got to love that, haven't you? It's the yin and the yang alive.
We just had an earthquake the other day, actually. Like 3.2 just off the coast here. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Woke me up a bit, yeah.
Really? Yeah, you felt the shake?
Yeah, I was standing in my kitchen and I felt it. Yeah.
And I mean, talking to the locals in that, Cara, that's probably not unusual, yeah?
It's not unusual, but everyone is a little on edge after the huge earthquake they had in 2000. Was it 18? And Lombok was hit hard, which meant Gili, like a lot of places went down here. So I think people are really on edge when it happens. But this one was quite small and off the coast.
Wow. Well, of course, we go over to the Canary Islands at the moment, Los Palmos, and there is one literally, it's erupting now, isn't it? It's incredible, the photography, if you checked it out. And we just hope that obviously it doesn't go to maximum and it calms down a bit. As I said, just the world is just absolutely bubbling at the moment, isn't it? So you want to make those changes, listeners, in your life. Now is a really good, energetic time to do it, just as Cara and K2 Fit have done. Fact number 5, the airport will be shut one day a year. They have this kind of day out of time Hindu celebration. It's called Nyepi, perhaps a day of silence. Yeah, an opportunity for self-reflection. And it's enforced as well. You don't work, you just stop. And I love that. It's a great thing, yeah?
Yeah, amazing. What day is that?
I was just looking at that. What day is it? No, can't be told. Well, that's terrible research. You really should have given us something on that. Something to look up, listeners.
We can look it up after.
Bali is a coral triangle. Amazing for snorkeling. I've been there, and you, of course, you've been with the turtles. If you love that stuff, this is the place to go to. Has one of the highest densities of spas in the world. Okay, there you go. That's what I said earlier. Fact number 8, malevolent spirits are not welcome. Indeed, they're not. They're everywhere, apparently. And there are a myriad of practices to keep evil ones at bay. Do you see that? There's lots of gateways with statues outside, to guard from the spirits. Noticed any of that on Gilead?
A little bit. And apparently, if there's an archway of trees, that is not a good sign here on Gili.
Right.
Could be ghosts. I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, it says here, don't forget to honk your horn, Cara. I guess that'll have to be the one when you're on your horse.
On my horse, on my bike, yeah.
If you drive past a cemetery, as this will also scare the spirits away from the cemetery. Interesting. Fact number 9. Apparently, this was David Bowie's final resting place. He requested in his will to have his ashes scattered in a Buddhist ritual in Bali. No one knows if it actually happened, but he had a long-standing love for Indonesia. So that's interesting. And apparently here, number 10, Tirta Empul is a must. It's a tourist attraction. It's a water temple. Looks like definitely going to have to go there. It has a big pilgrimage. They come to undergo a lengthy purification ritual that involves bathing in freshwater springs from a series of 30 water spouts. And the temple was actually founded in 962 AD, dedicated to the Indian god Vishnu. Make sure you go there, Cara, I'm being told. Tirta Empul on the mainland when you get there. And a rice field isn't just a rice field, apparently. It's more than just a photo opportunity and for making rice. It represents centuries of social and spiritual culture, irrigation systems, siphon water from groundwater sources through water temples via a system of canals. So it's not just I mean, they're beautiful. I'm looking at a picture now, listeners, of these rice steps, that they put into the hills. Do they do rice? I'm sure not in Gilead. That's probably not a place where they make rice. Am I right?
I think I've seen some rice fields, but they'd be pretty small since the island's tiny.
Yes. Have you explored all of the island yet?
A lot, but there's a lot of side little dirt alleyways that you don't know where to go, and so not completely, but I do a little bit every day.
Just sounds so exciting. It's brilliant.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, but not cool are the monkeys. They have no manners, apparently. Do you get monkeys on Gilead?
Nope, no monkeys here. No monkeys, no dogs.
And now I know you like a bit of meat. Myself, I am, I'm like I said, a flexitarian.
I don't eat monkeys or dogs.
No. You didn't bring that one with you. But Ubud is a vegan heaven. I remember we were talking about Ubud, the spiritual capital, and I'm sure I love vegan food, vegetarian food, and for me, I would go completely vegan or vegetarian if the environment was fitting for it. As you know, in China, when you go out with stuff, it's quite hard, and I call myself a flexitarian because I do like meat, and sometimes when it's there and it's the only thing, you have to delve. But certainly the environment seemingly there is really pro veganism and vegetarianism, right?
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah, everyone's a vegan in Ubud, as I've heard. I don't know yet.
Now, have you swam with the dolphins yet?
No, not yet.
Just the turtles. Well, apparently, if you want to, you need to get up very early, Miss Watsky. Just a little bit of tip there from China Jedi. And finally, we'll end with this one. When you go to a temple, it's rude to do these things. So don't do these things. Here you go. Have the soles of your feet pointing at the altar. Very Asian thing, of course, not to do that. Don't point at things, especially statues. Don't be inappropriately attired. You must wear a long sarong and cover your shoulders. Yeah, I like wearing a good sarong. Be loud or irreverent. That's going to be a problem for me. Stand higher, stand higher than the priest. Don't stand higher than the priest. Have an uncovered wound. And the last one, be visibly pregnant. Okay, so obviously just don't have it out. Put the top over it. Yeah. So
which makes sense with the sarong and covering your shoulders. So why would you have your tummy just out?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. So, okay, off that, some interesting facts there, I hope, for some of you listening. Give me the main thing that you missed then. You said earlier that making friends, and that's, I think, a really key point when you go from such a bustling place to a very small, secluded island. But what else is there that you miss about China, Cara? I mean, 3 months in now, maybe some of it hasn't started to really think about it yet. But yeah, any things that come to mind?
Top things, friends for sure, feeling like I'm
Right,
at home,
yeah.
but that will get here. But food also, I do miss the variety of different, like Chinese food and also Western, from foods around the world. It's quite limited here currently. I miss the skyline when I'm walking at night, kind of thing. Like that's quite a nice thing about Guangzhou, is the beautiful lights and how, it's incredible to look at this amazing skyline, right? And here, I mean, it's just quiet at night. It's dark. You wouldn't just go out at night, but you do have the beautiful mornings and sunrises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much then.
Honestly, I love being here. I mean, it's the people and food, I guess, would be the main things. But I love the quiet. I love maybe I'll get super bored here soon. I've only been here 3 months, so going from a big bustling loud city to quiet where I'm writing my book and need that time without friends. Actually, it's kind of good that I have no friends, because it doesn't distract me from what I'm trying to achieve, right? So maybe it'll change. In December or January, I will probably be moving to Bali, and I will learn about all these things that you've just given us. Thank you so much. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I mean, on that note, so if you want to get cheese macaroni at the moment, you have to take a boat over to Lombok. Am I right? Or do you have to go over to Bali? Okay.
Lombok, yeah. So
and how long does that take?
15-minute boat ride. And
of course,
then
only
40-minute car ride.
40?
Yeah, because where the dock is to where the shops are. Yeah, about 40 minutes.
Wow.
And it's like super windy roads, right? Like it's beautiful countryside and like driving right along the sea, right? But it's up and down, so it's not like just getting on a highway.
Yeah. Okay, and there's a little store there, is there? It's not going to be a massive supermarket, and they have foreign goods, am I right?
It's a pretty big supermarket, but yeah, they have foreign imported goods. There's a few things you can get on the island here, like milk, a bit of cheese, but most of it you go on the boat. It was like when I first got here and had to buy a fridge and a washing machine. That was quite interesting, because I had to go over on the boat, get the washing machine and fridge delivered to a private boat, and then get the washing machine and fridge onto a horse cart to get to my house. It was quite the adventure.
Quite the fitness activity for the morning, I'm sure.
Yes. I didn't do most of the lifting, though, I have to be honest. The porters kind of do that.
Now, these are the things, Cara, that we don't appreciate, aren't they? I mean, anyone listening now who's in the big cities like me, don't not appreciate Meituan. Cara wanted some macro. You could have just got your phone out and it would have been there in 30 minutes. I mean, it's just amazing, really, isn't it, how that works in China?
True. Yes. And Taobao, that you can get everything. There's similar things here, but I don't think it's as efficient or as diverse and available goods as China.
Can we talk a little bit prices at the moment? You go get your cheese, you get your fridge. In China, it's all made in China. No doubt, probably the fridge you got was made in China. The price is a lot different for those kind of things. For foreign goods, for electronics, are we talking a lot more expensive, Cara?
Have you ever bought a fridge in China? Every apartment I've ever been to had a fridge, so I don't even know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I'd probably say for about what? Probably about 1,000 RMB, you can get a decent fridge. Yeah. I don't know what that converts into.
This big fridge, because we got quite a big one, it looks like about 1,500 renminbi.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. And how about things like your macaroni cheese and that? I mean, they're a bit more expensive, of course, in Guangzhou and that, aren't they? When you go and buy something like that. But
For
was it?
sure. For sure. Anything you buy, like in Guangzhou, even if I bought like stuff like that, or every so
Mm,
often I want salt and vinegar chips or something, you're paying like $10 for a bag of
mm,
salt and vinegar chips, like, which
yeah.
is great. I actually love this part of China that the export tax is really high because it helps me with my clients. I'm
Yes.
like, don't buy it then. It's too bloody expensive and
Yeah.
you don't need it, right? So it's kind of like you don't buy it as often. Like back home, you could rock up to a a
Yeah.
Walmart or Lowe's or whatever, wherever you're from, and just buy bags of chips and all pop and all this stuff that, well, I guess pop's cheap in China, but people stock their pantry full of really crap, right? But here in China and Indonesia, it's expensive to get these things. So it's kind of like a deterrent in a sense.
Mm.
So stick to the whole foods, stick to the stuff that our body actually needs. And then once in a while, you can indulge financially and for your waistline on some treats, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Fresh, locally produced food is what we should be kind of eating. Well, you'd say 80% of the time, wouldn't you? The old 80-20 ratio.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
what about then just general stuff then now where you are buying fruit, vegetables, cooking, electricity? Is it cheaper than China, Cara,
Yes.
to live? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much cheaper. So
Okay.
that's a bonus. Yeah, I mean, I get smoothie bowls, and a smoothie bowl is like 5 or 10 kwai. Whereas if you go to like a
Mm,
restaurant in Guangzhou for a smoothie bowl, it's like 40. So I
wow.
mean, it can be a huge difference.
Yeah, and over the years, of course, in China, I'm sure you've seen as much as the prices have really gone up, haven't they? Especially for fruits and things like that. So again, developing societies and countries, that tends to be the pattern. So that's really good to
Mm.
hear. And the internet, actually, I mean, our line today is wonderful. How's the internet? Are you cringing sometimes sending an email? I mean, all these people want 5, 6, 7G. I'm quite happy with the 3G. But how's that for you there?
Well, the power goes under the water to Lombok through a pipe, whatever, and it cuts a lot because a tree here will fall on the lines that are not really well developed here, and so the power will cut every couple weeks or so, and you'll be without power for a good couple hours or a day. You're like, oh my
Right,
gosh, I hope I don't have any Zoom calls today or Skype calls.
right.
So yeah, I mean, it's touch and go sometimes, but for the most part, it's quite good. Like today, we've done great, right?
Yeah, indeed. And there you go. There's another thing you don't think about, listeners. Your electricity cutting out or something like that. I mean, I have to say one thing you do, especially around the holidays here, where our studio is. Sometimes the VPNs can go down, can't they? Which is a little bit annoying.
Yes.
I bet you're not missing that though, are
I
you? Having
am
to keep
not missing
switching on your
that.
phone, and
Oh,
it's so frustrating, isn't it?
thank goodness to not have to
Yeah.
rely on a VPN and be able to WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and WeChat all at the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh
It's
dear.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And YouTube, don't. Let's not go there. Now, of course, these times the power does go down. It gives you a great chance to work on your book. Now, let's talk a little bit about your book because I didn't know about this. Tell us about your book. You finished it. What's going on? You're going to try and publish it?
I
Is it just going
haven't
to be
finished it yet. It's
okay?
like almost done. Yes, I will publish. I will probably offer it for free as an ebook for the first, I'm not sure how many. I'm working with my coaches on how to launch it in the
Mm-hmm.
best way that it can provide tons of value to as many people as possible. And then, of course, we have to cover some of our costs over the last
Mm-hmm.
couple of years developing it and doing research and everything that goes into a book and the publishing fees, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I really want to share out to people about fitness transformation inside and out. Of course, the book will likely be titled something about getting into your best shape and making sure to hit that nerve where people do they I think a lot of the time people don't join a fitness program because they're like, I hope my body is amazing on the inside and my well-being is super good. But that's the effect of fitness and eating healthy, right? But they first think, okay, I really want to fit in my bikini this summer, or I really want to, you know what I mean? Of course, I don't want to like only promote that, but we do body transformation, and with that comes the coaching on the inside. So yeah, the book's about how you can live your healthiest and feel your best and look your best, whatever that may be to you. And it gives you very simple tools on how to do it in a regular, everyday person way, not this bodybuilder plan that's totally not sustainable for the long term. It really does delve into the simple steps that we've used for the over 6,000 people we've helped train and transform their lives, and putting it into this book form where people, if they're not in our program, they can at least have the book, have the tools, have the simple steps, and implement it into their lives.
Yeah, indeed. And when you're looking at getting this out this year, I suspect, where are we now? By the end of this year, or when's the plan for?
I hope by the end of this year, or being the very wannabe Chinese side of me, maybe by Chinese New Year to have it fully launched. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well,
because we need to go through editing and stuff like that. The fun stuff now. The
fun stuff, yeah. And really look forward to getting to see that. That would be a great read, I'm sure. And you're gonna have, I'm sure you will, like the case studies of all these people that your platform has helped. They're going to be little case studies in there intermingled.
Absolutely. I've interviewed over 30 people for the book, taking their best bits and their struggles too. So people know, okay, this is what you can achieve. This is the hurdle that I had to get through, and really try to share other people's journey, hopefully inspire other people to do the same.
Well, wish you all the best with that. As I said, look forward to seeing. I'm going to get a signed copy. Can you put your fingerprint on it as well with some red ink?
Sure.
Proper Chinese style.
Proper Chinese style. Oh, yes. That's so, I'm doing that.
Right, Miss Watsky, it's time to take you, as we come towards the end of the podcast, to see how much you do know about this wonderful place you've now moved to, Indonesia. I'm going to give you a few little questions. As always, I will give you some options, and you can choose one of them. So you can have a guess if you need to. So it's, how much does Kara Watsky know about Indonesia? Are you ready?
Oh gosh, no. Can I hang up now?
Yeah. The tree's falling over the line. Something's gone wrong. Yeah.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Okay, here we go then. Number one. Indonesia is made up of approximately how many islands, Kara? How many islands? 300, 700, 1,200, or 18,000? How many?
1,200.
Okay, the answer is 18,000. I'm going to tick.
My gosh.
I'm going to tick when you get one right. So no tick for that one. I 18,000. That is incredible.
That's crazy. I guess so. It? There's tiny little specks everywhere.
I tell you what, I'm thinking I might have to come over on one of those 18,000 islands and set up another K2 Fit. K2 Fit 2. In partnership with the K2 Fit Originales. Okay, number two. Who of these is in no way Indonesian? Who of these is in no way Indonesian? Cripes. Famke Janssen, Robin van Persie, Eddie Van Halen, or Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Oh my gosh. This is so random. I have no idea, but I love Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I'm just going to say him.
Okay, let's see. You are right. He is in no way. He's from Holland, isn't he? I think Jean-Claude Van Damme, potentially.
French.
Oh, is he? Maybe French, Dutch.
French.
Maybe he's just French. Okay, something to
What's the
look
other
up
French
after.
something? Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. Right, next one. Indonesia won 2 medals at the 2012 Olympics. My gosh, this must be an old quiz. In which event did they win the 2 medals in the 2020 London Olympics? Archery, badminton, weightlifting, or shooting?
Badminton.
Okay. It's not, I'm afraid. It's weightlifting. Let's move on. One out of 3 so far. So there you go. If you start to do some weightlifting courses, there might be some locals there really up for that. Weightlifting. They won 2 Olympic medals.
Sounds like they should teach me. They're the Olympians.
Number 4. Islam is the most practiced religion in Indonesia. but which is the second? Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, or Shinto, Cara?
Christianity.
Absolutely right. There's another one on the
Phew.
scoreboard. Yeah, let's move on. Number 5. During the 2012 US presidential election campaign, some commentators noted that Barack Obama was displaying physical signs of the cultural customs he'd picked up when he lived in Indonesia as a child. What was the sign? He didn't thank a supporter. He did thank a supporter for their encouragement in Bahasa. That he pointed at Mitt Romney with his thumb during a presidential debate. Oh my gosh. That he revealed he trained in the Indonesian martial art of pencak silat. I'm sorry, I've said that wrong, any Indonesian listeners. And finally, that he had a small tattoo on his shoulder to remind him of his time growing up in the country. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I won't go over those again.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
How would you know?
1. Where he thanked
1, okay. He thanked his
Bahasa
supporter for their...
Indonesia.
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately not. He apparently pointed at Mitt Romney with his thumb
I was gonna
during
say
a
that
presidential...
one, but I was like, no, that can't be it.
Is that a kind of cultural thing, is it? To point with the thumb?
I think you're not supposed to point with your finger.
Yeah, we talked
in
about that,
any
didn't
culture, really. Like, is in any culture okay to point at somebody with your finger? I always find it a little rude. I'm like, put your finger down.
Well, when my child doesn't pick up that thing I've asked him 20 million times to do on the floor, I do tend to point first at their body and then I move it to navigate to where it is. So yeah, maybe I should think about that. Right, number 6. Never mind. How many female presidents has Indonesia had, Cara? 0, 1, 2, or 3? How many female presidents?
1.
You're absolutely correct. There you go. Back on the 4. You're doing well. You're doing well. Question 7. Which banknote carries a picture of the first Indonesian president, Sukarno? Which banknote? Is it the 1,000? Is it rupiah or rupiah?
Rupiah.
Okay, is it 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, or 100,000? As she opens her wallet, listeners,
Can I
now.
just grab my wallet? Yeah, hold on one second.
No, absolutely not.
My guess is 10,000.
And you're nearly right. She needed to add another 0. It's the 100,000 rupiah.
Oh, man.
Has his face on it. Let's move on. Gado gado or gado gado? Gado gado.
Gado, yeah.
Okay, is an Indonesian greeting or a traditional round Indonesian hat? Is it an Indonesian dish of vegetables and peanut sauce? Or is it the Indonesian name for the slow loris?
It's an Indonesian dish with peanut sauce.
You're absolutely right. And it is fantastically tasty, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Delicious.
There you go. Number 9. What form of government does Indonesia have? Communist, democracy, dictatorship, or a monarchy?
Oh, no.
I am very surprised you don't know this one.
Oh, no. I'm scared to be wrong.
Oh, come on. Communist, democracy, dictatorship, or monarchy?
Communist.
It is, I'm afraid, democracy. Well, I'm not afraid. That's a good thing. Yeah, 2004, I believe. They kicked the out. So, yeah, it's a democracy now.
I'm still in China in my brain.
So exactly. Yeah. Good point. Right. Next, number 10. You've got 5 so far. So yeah, over 50%. According to the Indonesian government, Cara, approximately how many orangutans are left in the country? 15,000, 61,000, 96,000, or 120,000? Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh gosh. B.
Yep, 61,000. We'll go for that. It's correct.
Yes.
There you go. Look at that. Well done.
I feel like I'm back in school. Choose B or C.
This is what we like to do. We like to spread that feeling in China Jedi. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Number 11. Only a few more to go. Which state has never colonized or occupied Indonesia? Which state? Netherlands, Japan, France, or Portugal? It's a tough one. Netherlands, Japan, France, or Portugal never colonized or occupies the Great Indonesia.
Japan?
It is France. Yes, the Netherlands, Japan, and Portugal have unfortunately put their mucky hands over some of the places over our history. So yeah, it's France. Well done, France, to that one. Number 12. How many countries have a bigger population than Indonesia? Is it 3, 9, 7, or 5? Gosh, I'm really throwing these at you. I do apologize. 3, 9, 7, or 5 countries have a greater population than Indonesia.
3.
You got it. You got it, Miss Watsky.
Woo!
Correct. Only 3 do. So quite a populated place indeed, although not on your island.
No.
Number 13, 3 more to go. Which of these animals is not endemic to Indonesia? Is it the Sulawesi palm civet, the Komodo dragon, Bennett's tree kangaroo, or the silvery gibbon, otherwise known as Hylobates malok? Apologize again for my pronunciation. Which is not endemic to Indonesia?
I don't know. I heard the word kangaroo. I can only think of Australia.
Yes.
So kangaroo.
Let's see. And it's correct. Well done. Yeah, kangaroo. Yeah, brilliant. Number 14. Only one of these places sends more tourists to Indonesia than Australia. Which is it? Now, be very careful here because we did talk about this, and there may be a time dimensional dilation in the answer. So it's either Singapore, Britain, China, or Japan. I'm trying to help you here. It might not be what you think. Singapore, Britain, China, or Japan, the second biggest tourist market to Indonesia, Cara.
Oh, gosh. What was it? Singapore,
Britain,
yeah.
China, or Japan?
Britain.
You like the Brits, don't you? You said it earlier. They were the most avid visitors. It is, I am afraid, Singapore, which again, with the Chinese community, it's only a few hours away from you, isn't it? A lot of the medical services, great medical services, I know a lot of people I know on the ground there go to Singapore or recommend it if something serious happens. So I guess there's a lot of visitors from Singapore. So there you go, Chinese, Singapore Chinese, big visitors, I'm sure, coming your way soon as the doors open up. Finally, let's get this one right. Which of these is not an Indonesian national animal? Which isn't? Is it the Asian arowana fish, the dugong, the Javan hawk eagle, or the Komodo dragon? Which is not an Indonesian national animal? No idea.
The eagle.
The Javan hawk eagle. I'm afraid it's the dugong. The dugong. Isn't that like a big bird or something?
I don't know, man. It's the weirdest trivia questions ever.
Well, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, you got 8 out of 15, and I think, considering you've been there 3 months, is pretty good going. So I think you passed with full Indonesian colours. Well done, Cara.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. I'll learn some more for the next one.
Yeah, I know you were a little bit nervous about that, weren't you? So I think you did. I think you did a brilliant job. Right, before we end, let's talk about plans for the near future and moving forward. Is this a place you can really see yourself settling down in? Do you feel the vibe? Obviously, your family can all go over there. Everything's just working up to a brilliant recipe.
Yes, I believe Indonesia is a really, really great place to be and great place to settle. And if anyone can and wants to move from big city life, it is an incredible place to be, for sure.
Yeah, and I think you've summed it up so well. I think there's so many. I'm going to really looking forward to listening back to this pod because there's some really great stuff in here. And again, really hats off to you. Fullest respect for making the big move. I'm really chuffed for you, and I look forward to coming and seeing the place and everything like that. So really brilliant stuff, Cara. And finally, before we end, the listeners, could you just give us where to find K2 Fit, how to get in touch with you, those kind of things if they want to maximize their fitness, take it to another level?
You can go to k2fit.com, which is K2, the number 2, FIT.com. But the best way is actually to connect with me as your personal coach. And that way I can contact and discuss what goals that people have. I love talking to people. I love helping people. So Kara.Watsky on Instagram is my handle. And yeah, I love talking to people. So if you guys have any questions about fitness, health, hitting your own personal goals, please do hit me up. WeChat is just Watsky.
Let's just again, because your surname is a bit difficult to spell. Watsky would be Wutzke.
Yes, correct. It is a very difficult name. I really need to have a stage name. How's Madonna sound?
I can tell you've been on your own for too long, haven't you? These 3 months, you're getting grand delusions. Okay, you're not eating any of the mushrooms, are you? You've got to be careful there. It says in the Lonely Planet.
No. My vice is mac and cheese.
Okay, well maybe I can come and play guitar for you or something when you form the K2 Fit band. How about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Kara Watsky, aka Miss K2 Fit, wonderful having you on, and we'll touch base again soon. As always, this is China Jedi.
If you enjoy listening to the China Jedi podcast and want to get involved, either by asking a question, expressing your opinion, good or bad, light or dark, or even appearing as a special guest, then get in touch by emailing our team at info@chinajedi.com. That's info@chinajedi.com. May the smile be with you.